but when they praise you, you feel happy, but you're like, इसमें कहीं ना कहीं थोड़ा तो bias है. अभी भी जब सपने आते तो ऐसा लगता है एग्जाम है आज और मैं पढ़ा नहीं है कुछ. But if it starts with an MCBC, then
obviously.
I know that there is a different agenda. Hi, this is Kunal Khemu and you're watching me on Untitled Chapter.
Well, I would say yet another interesting series is to be out pretty soon, Abhay. And I think when I was traveling right now, Kunal, I just was like, okay, let me see इस बारी क्या ऐसा है जो मुझे hook रखने वाला है. And I'm like, okay, कब आ रही है? But then I would say, firstly, welcome to Untitled Chapter. A pleasure having you here on our portal. When I was seeing, I was quite intrigued to know कि आपके दिमाग में क्या चल रहा था, because third installment responsibility थोड़ी और बढ़ चुकी है and excitement और बढ़ चुकी है. What was your take on it when you were like, okay, this is the story ahead?
Firstly, I was very happy and excited to know that we are doing season 3 because you only do another season when it's been accepted and loved.
Yes.
So firstly, there was a lot of happiness about that. But at the same time, you're also excited and nervous about, like you said, we've promised a season hook.
Yes.
We know what we're going to do with that. But what are we going to do beyond this? And it's not just something that I'm thinking about. It's what the platform's thinking about, the creative team is thinking about, what the director's thinking about. Because we wanted to be sure that we don't want to change it completely because there is something about the show that people like. But how do we up the ante?
Yeah.
So in this season, Vijay Raj becomes that person who kind of, along with him, brings this dark world, like you must have seen in the
trailer,
trailers, which is new for Abhay himself. And that's the world we are exploring. We are excited about it. We are hoping that the audiences also like it, so that we get another opportunity to get stressed and think, what do we do now?
But I would love to know one thing. जब भी कोई season 2 आता है, season 3 आता है, hook point होता है, and you come back and play the same characters but in a different way, it's always a challenge because आपको similar भी रखना है, एक X factor और add करना है, and the challenge is still there and the hype is there. So in Abhay, if I would ask that season 1, season 2, and then now season 3, what was it that you added from your end in this time that we wouldn't have seen in the 2 before seasons?
What was important is that while I have to do certain things that define the character as an actor and also as a character in the show, I was looking and I actively was trying to get that, which I think we did, is from the performance point of view, to have a situation that kind of shows you Abhay, even if it's for a moment or a scene, in a way that you've not seen him before.
Yes.
And also create a situation in his life, personally or professionally, within the show, which is interesting because it should look like, oh, he's reached a point of no return. What is he going to do there? So that becomes like a plot twist for the character, if not so much for the show.
Yes.
And I think to a certain extent, we've been lucky enough to find both of those, whether it was a performance bit or the character getting into a situation, which I actually thought about even in season 1. I was like, it'll be great. It's too soon to do it in season 1. It would be amazing if he reached a point like this. And in season 3, and that's one of my favorite scenes, at least on paper it was. I hope we've done a good job with it, but that scene happens in episode 7 of this third.
So now you've already made me intrigued कि okay, 7 तक तो जाना ही है, उसके आगे तो खत्म ही कर लेना पूरा. But then tell me one thing honestly, because as an actor I'm very sure that some of them say that we do not like watching our work, and then there are another category of them who say no, we like watching our work. But then there are some who say that if we watch, we totally criticize it. Which category do you put yourself in?
I think in the latter two. I wouldn't be an actor if I didn't want to see what's happening on screen, right?
And when you see, you criticize it?
More, not every time.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm like, oh, thank God.
अच्छा निकला है.
But sometimes you're like, oh, अरे यार इधर थोड़ा ऐसा करना चाहिए था, ये ऐसा था. पहले ज़्यादा होता था. I think also क्योंकि इतना सारा वो किया, I think I know that I'll be watching this and criticizing it, so let me think more of what I can do. So it's progressively gotten better. But I'm not one who'll just keep watching their stuff over and over again. But the excitement of watching it for the first time is definitely there. And sometimes it's nice to revisit. Like with Abhay, I have to revisit a couple of episodes, not the whole season. But some episodes you want to see just to see mannerisms, what kind of voice did he do, like, stuff like that. But otherwise, I'm not somebody I haven't seen a lot of my films from the time I saw them.
ऐसी कोई movie है or maybe ऐसा कोई series है that you were a part of it, but then you're like now you think back and you're like, why was I there?
Yeah, but I'm not going to name it.
But there is, right? Yeah. But then tell me one thing honestly, because Abhay की अगर मैं बात करूँ, season 3 है and the excitement is still there. How was it like when you went back home and you were taking a feedback from the family? Did they give you a feedback about what was their take on Abhay, and do you guys have those kind of conversations home? Okay, like what do you think about this one? Is it better? Is it greater, larger than last time? What is it like?
You know, actually, that doesn't really happen much, because I feel that even though, and I think as actors, and there's a lot of those, sometimes you don't know, like, do you really want to know what everybody thought about it? Because it can get complicated, right? Because even if you say, hey, what did you think about it? Like, if I don't know you, I may get an honest feedback. But if you're so close, you're not sure if that's an honest feedback, right?
Yes.
Because like I said, I mean, they are your biggest cheerleaders, your family. But when they praise you, you feel happy, but you're like, isme kahin na kahin thoda to bias hai.
Yes.
And the other side of it is, the day they say that it was not good, then it must be really bad. That, you know, they are forced to say ki acha nahi tha.
But then has Soha has ever said that, okay, this is what I like? Do you guys have those kind of conversations when she's given you a very creative feedback, or she's given you honest feedback?
Of course.
She's given you no.
Yeah.
But what was her take on Abhay?
But she likes Abhay. But see, she's also, I am slightly more critical. She's,
really? I thought she's more critical.
She's more forgiving in a lot of ways. And I mean, she might say that I really liked it. And I'll be like, are you mad? This was so bad. And she's like, no, what are you talking about? I really liked it. I mean, that's my perspective. So I am way more critical. So I think sometimes maybe then she lies. She's like, अरे बाप रे, इसको बोलूँगी तो ये तो पागल ही हो जाएगा.
But then, just, you know, it's very, I am very curious to know one thing, that, you know, when kids watch their parents on screen, or when they see them on these posters, how do they react? So how does your daughter react when she sees you?
She hasn't seen us on screen.
Ever?
She hasn't. She has, like, a year ago started TV time.
Does she know that her parents are actors, like, in known faces?
She knows it, but I don't know if she's 4, right? So I don't know what her understanding of this is. I mean, she knows that, like, she's come to set once or twice, and she knows that I wear different clothes, or somebody will say action and I'll start saying some lines. And she asks, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm acting, I'm an actor. So she knows, oh, he's acting, he's an actor, but I don't know if
she understands the meaning behind
what
it.
that exactly is, right? And of course, she's not seen any of her work, because like I said, she's still in the animation world right now.
But then कोई ऐसा काम है आपका जो आपको लगता है that you would want her to see in the near future, and something that you feel that, okay, this is, I don't want her to see it.
Actually, I mean, when the time is right and she starts watching films, I might want her to see Hame Rai Pyar Ke, because that's like a film that she might
like,
enjoy.
yes.
You know, that's a kiddie film. And as in when she grows up, then I think I have a little bit of everything.
For her to take
For
all
her
that.
to, like, she wants to see a comedy whenever she likes. She can see a Golmaal later on in life.
Yes.
I don't know, other than that, Kal Yuga and all, she'll have to wait for a long time.
A long time, yes. But tell me one thing honestly, Kunal, because, you know, when I see your work, and I think that, you know, this Abhay has been something wherein the fans got to see a very different side of you, and, you know, they could see you putting your 200% ahead. So now that you have tasted this kind of an element, and you know that, okay, this is the potential that I want to show out there, what is those kinds of roles that will actually you feel will be quite difficult for you, but still you want to try those, because you know that will give you the kick that you need?
I don't know. I mean, I think everything that I do, you know, even the stuff that I've done before, and I know I've done a lot of comedy, and that seems to be my forte, and people like it. I get a lot of kick from that also.
Yes.
There is obviously a little bit of more nervousness when you're trying something new, or doing it after a long gap. Like, I've done serious stuff before, like, right? My Zakhn ko bhi agar keh de, ya Kal Yug, Traffic Signal, these are like serious films.
I like the Traffic Signal, honestly.
And then people were like, maybe he can't do comedy. And then so much comedy happened, and they thought maybe he's forgotten everything. But with the Kalang, Malang, and with Abhay, I got an opportunity. So there was a little bit of nervousness at that point, because I was also like that, will people only now accept me or see me as somebody who makes them laugh? Or will they take me seriously if I did a no-nonsense cop like an Abhay Pratap Singh? And I'm ecstatic that they did. And that there is a separate fan base for Abhay the character, Abhay the show. And that did not mean that I had to lose out on the people who love me doing comedy.
Yes.
I have separate fan bases for both, and then there are fan bases that like me doing both. So I feel blessed that I'm one of those actors who gets opportunities and can cash on.
But tell me one thing honestly, that, you know, seeing Abhay and then seeing the old works, I personally feel that, okay, I would want to see something really hardcore type of a thing, or maybe somewhere that, you know, it's quite challenging yet so similar, and that way around. Do you still feel very nervous when you go on the sets, and, you know, after performing so many different characters, do you still have that under when you face the camera, or it's done and dusted?
So the camera wala thing doesn't happen
doesn't
anymore.
happen.
But I think when you start something new, when it's a new character and a new film, the first day is a little bit of
nervousness.
I don't know if it's dhak type nervousness, that exam wali feeling that
that
I
doesn't
don't
come.
think. अभी भी जब सपने आते तो ऐसा लगता है एग्जाम है आज और मैं पढ़ा नहीं है कुछ, तो उतना बुरा नहीं होता है.
Okay.
But you're a little bit nervous because you're still to understand the sur of that character, right? So the first day, like a few scenes till you get there, and then you're like, now I've got it. Now I'm comfortable in this.
But any actor that you have worked with, and when you were on the sets with that person, a female actor or male actor, and you were very nervous to work with them, but then the scenes came out pretty beautifully with them.
I mean, I'm not in a good or bad way, but I've honestly never had that. And I can't think of an actor, if you said this actor I don't want to work with, I can't think of an actor like that. I've really enjoyed myself working with every co-actor that I've worked with.
You know, when you talk about fans, when you say that, you know, they have a very different fan base, but then they have supported in all that you have done, how much does the fan feedback affect your work, or maybe how you look towards the character that put out?
A lot. In fact, I think it can get tricky because, you know, we generally, as human beings, we want to take all the praises and completely disregard all the criticism that comes with it. But if it's worded right, I kind of really welcome that. But if it starts with an MCBC, then obviously I know that there is a different agenda here.
Yeah.
But then there are people who, and you can randomly find it.
Yes.
And I'm slightly amazed at the fact that even to write that criticism, that person's taken time. And
effort, yes.
That effort means something. And when it's rightly put, and some of that does stick by me. And I'm like, oh, this is what I should and we should work. Specifically, see, most of it comes with like an Abhay because people know that they like this show, they like these episodes, and they're going to see it again.
Yes.
With a film, you can always be like, I like this in that film, but I didn't. But you can't do anything about it, right? So you're like, okay, henceforth, if I ever do a character like this, I'll make sure. But with an Abhay, we've been able to incorporate that feedback. Like, for example, we know that it got a little too gory for some people.
Yes.
So we brought down that gore to say that we don't want to alienate audiences because of that. So while it's not completely gone away, it's been sensitized a lot.
How much do you like, you know, improvising what you are given on the script, or do you just go by what is written on the script?
A lot, actually. I improvise quite a lot, but obviously it's in tandem with the writers and the directors because I think it's purely their vision. So if I feel the need to improvise, I run it by them. Yes. And if it's okay by both of them, then we go and do that. Or sometimes, you know, I'll say, oh, I really feel that, so let's do both of these and whatever you feel is right. But at the end of the day, it's the director is the captain of the ship. What he wants has to happen.
Okay, tell me one thing very honestly. The day that you read Abhay 1, like the season 1 of it, and you know the first episode that you were reading, did you even think about it that okay, today you will be sitting on the season 3 of it?
No, because I didn't even read the whole season. I had only read episode 1, and I'd read like a storyline of episode 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I didn't even
this
know.
Happened.
It just happened, and but it was again like I probably, if I think back, I maybe wouldn't have done that because I'd be like, I need to read the whole thing, but instinctively it just felt like a show that I wanted to do. It's a character that I wanted to play, and I went with that. But having said that, no, I had not seen season 3.
I'm sure you have been a part of a lot of movies and shows, but tell me, has it ever happened that you were not really sure about a character, still you did it, and it turned out to be a blockbuster hit for you?
I wasn't really sure when I played Lakshman and Golmaal.
And it has been like a...
Yeah, I asked Rohit also while I was doing it. I was like, I don't know, man. Am I doing this right? I don't know. And then
it
kind of worked, luckily.
Yes, luckily.
Because I wasn't sure, like midway. At some point, I kind of got with it. But like the first 3 days, I remember like I wasn't sure. This is the first time I was in that place that, am I doing this right? Is this exactly what he wants? So I just believed in him. And honestly, I was pretty worried because it was a Seth's franchise.
Yes.
I was the only new guy.
Yes.
And everybody in that franchise is loved. I mean, I love that film and I love Tushar's character Seth and this, you know, down to Shreyas.
Yes.
And this is the only new guy. And I was like, oh my God.
Am I right?
So I've been put into this mammoth of a cast and a franchise is loved. What if they say that, why did you take him and what is he doing?
Lastly, fans ko kya kahenge, because you know I'm very sure for Abhay they are pretty excited, and also to know what next from Kunal's side.
For now, it's Abhay season 3, not just in Hindi but in Tamil and Telugu also. If you've not seen the first 2, please go and watch them. They're available on Z5. And after Abhay, there'll be another comedy coming your way called Kanjoos Makhi Choos in a few months. And then some more stuff which I'm not at liberty to talk about right now, but because it's happened, I'm even mentioning it. If it had not happened, I would say nothing.
I would say that there's a huge platter for them from your end, but they'll have to patiently wait for that one. But Kunal, thank you so much, and I wish you all the luck because I am going to be watching, because now he has given us small bloopers. Episode 7, so I have to go watch it. It was a pleasure having you here on Untitled Chapter. Well, that was Kunal Khemu for you, and this is me, Vishakha Pandit, signing off for now.
Know all about the Telly world by subscribing to Telly Chakka's YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay updated to our new videos.